Disney have released a trailer for the new Mufasa movie, which I didn't even know was getting made, to be honest, until this came out. But it's a prequel to The Lion King, which is also a remake of the original animated movie. So we're getting to like Inception levels of brand exploitation right now. But it didn't go down very well. And as far as I've got for the latest numbers, the trailer is currently sitting at 6.2 million views. It's got 110,000 upvotes and 248,000 downvotes. And Disney ended up blocking comments on it. So nobody can comment on this trailer anymore because the reaction to it was so negative. And I don't know if it's a combination of, just hating the concept of it, not really being interested in having a prequel to a movie, a remake that wasn't even wanted in the first place. And also just a general hatred of Disney and everything that they produce at this point. But man, that is a brutal ratio. And when it gets so bad that you have to disable comments on your YouTube video, it's bad. It's real bad. So I don't know, man.
Can we run it? Can we watch it now? Because I haven't seen it yet.
I can. What's the best way to do this?
I
can't really play it.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, I can't really play it with sound, unfortunately, because they'll nail me for copyright. So I'm just trying to think if there's a way I can do this that won't get me bans. Hold on. I'm going to see if I can bring it up, and I can. At the very least, I can just kind of skip through it. So, and I'll give you at least an idea of what.
That's right. I'm used to being banned. They tried to ban me over the petition. They mass reported me as a not safe for work account and got me search banned on Twitter for 3 days. And then the hashtag for some reason is now shadow banned too. It won't autocomplete. So hashtag Free Stellar Blade gets suppressed. We had it trending though. We had it trending for a while. And I've never had so much pushback. I mean, I've talked about Sweet Baby Inc. I've talked about, Gamergate. I've talked about all this stuff. No one has tried to stop me as hard as this petition for Free Stellar Blade. They are so triggered by having a feminine action hero from Korea, in a video game. It's just been absolutely insane. And of course, there's the bounties we joke about too.
I know, yeah, genuine, people actually putting bounties on your head. I know some of it was kind of done in a jokey way, but I just feel like if other people had made that same joke, they would have got immediately banned from their platforms.
I can't make that joke. If I made that joke, I'd be off everything instantly.
Yes, exactly. But it's somehow okay to do it against you. So it's kind of an interesting one. And I don't know, man, for some reason, this is just Stellar Blade has become the battleground for gaming. Helldivers had it for a while because they really wanted a pride flag or something in the game. I don't know what they were hoping to achieve with that. It didn't seem like the kind of environment that would be, promoting that kind of thing. When you see the sort of totalitarian regime that the game's based around, why would there be a pride flag?
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it, and I think my bounty's up to 50,000 now. And and people think the first guy was fairly serious about it. But I asked the question: when is it okay to make death threat jokes? And people can't answer me. It's I want to know the specific circumstances under which and the true test is if I can say it. All right. So just let me know.
Yeah, it's there's different rules for you, So what I'll do, I've got the trailer, so I can, I don't know, I'll share it here, right? So you can at least see it. That was my reaction also. So it's another continuation of the live action. We say live action. No. It's all CGI,
It didn't work the last time. Why are they doing it again?
Well, I think it did. In terms of box office, I think The Lion King was actually pretty successful. Yeah. Let me just tell you, Lion King remake box office. I'm pretty sure it was 1.6 billion. So it was a hugely successful movie. I just question why it was made, because it's just telling the exact same story. it's the same attitude I have towards all of the live action Disney remakes. You're just telling the exact same story again, and I don't really know what anyone's meant to get out of it. It's not an improvement over what you had before. It's just different visuals.
I guess if it made money, they're going to try this now.
Yeah. So this right here is, hey, you know Mufasa from The Lion King, who was in it for like 20 minutes and then died? Like, well, that's him as a kid. So now we get to have his story. I mean, how far back do you want to go with this? Do you want to then have his dad?
The origin of the origin story.
Yeah, like it can go on forever, and they would, as long as there's money to be made out of it. And it's something I pointed out as well. Like, I don't know if you remember things like The Lion King, but the animation that they used was extremely expressive for the animals. Yeah. You could really, like, they had human-like reactions because they're animated. You can do whatever you want with them. With this, they tried to keep it photorealistic, and so you've got cats and stuff who are saying, you know, very emotive scenes, like they've got very emotive dialogue, but they've only got the facial expressions of an actual cat.
And that's got to be some uncanny valley right there.
It is, yeah, because then their mouths end up moving in really unnatural ways, and it just looks crap. So, yeah, you've got it here. It was, oh, look, it's another Stampede. Got the monkey. I'm surprised Scar's not in it, actually. I'm sure he'll show up. But yeah, the bit that really raised the alarm bells, I'm going to see if I can get to the credits bit here right at the end. Here we go. Eventually. It's really slow. Yeah, when you've got Seth Rogen and Billy Eichner in your movie. Oh, that's that's not a great sign. So
we just don't go see Disney movies anymore. I mean, nobody in my family is interested. It's it's a default no until proven otherwise.
I think so, yeah, and that's what a decade of brand damage does to you, I suppose. You get to the point where people actively dislike your product, and that's where we seem to be stuck at now. And I'm not surprised at all by the reaction to this, because one, I think it's a creatively bankrupt endeavor, and two, I just think the whole Disney brand has got such fan antagonism now that they're just going to downvote pretty much anything that they put out. And I guess it's a shame that they've gotten to this point, but they entirely brought it on themselves.
They really did. It's been so sad to see. I mean, we won't even go to the parks anymore, and not to mention the prices are just insane now. I don't know how they recover from this. I have no idea. How do you recover from something like this?
I don't know what it's going to take. Like, I think, one, it's going to take a change of leadership. They need to get rid of Bob Iger and probably the entire board and replace them with more suitable people who are actually interested in making money and telling good stories. And then probably you're going to have a wholesale gutting of the company. It would take probably someone like Elon Musk to come in and do a Twitter on them, you know, like firing 70-80% of the staff.
There is merit to that idea. And when the infestation gets too deep, sometimes that's what you got to do.
Burn it all down and start again, I think, perhaps.
But it's entertainment, right? And one thing I've learned from entertainment is that if you can come up with a hit, that can put you on the path very, very quickly. And if you can, if as long as you don't screw it up afterwards. So if they ever do land a mega hit, you know, I think that they should run with it and axe projects brutally and keep going in that direction, because there's a chance. I think there's a chance that happens.
Well, I mean, Mulder and I have talked about this. Like, say you've got big brands and big franchises like Star Wars and Marvel. Those are things that Disney have bought over and kind of run into the ground. And we've debated, like, what would it take to rehabilitate them in people's minds, to restore them to their former glory? And I personally think, like, one, you're probably never going to do that. The Marvel universe is never going to be as big as it was 5 years ago. But if you just want to get it back to profitability, what would it take? And it's probably going to take 2 or 3 good quality movies that are well received in a row to restore faith in the brand. And
I was specifically thinking, I was specifically thinking about Deadpool and how that's going to do.
Yeah, I think it's going to do fine. I think that will be a successful movie. There seems to be good buzz around it, good fan reception towards it. People are happy to see another Deadpool movie and happy to see Wolverine again. But it's probably going to be like this third season of Picard, right? For Star Trek, where that was nice. They finally got things back on track and they gave us a good send off to the next generation. And then it was back to business as usual with more crappy Discovery. It's going to be probably like that. They're not going to learn any real lessons from this. I think it'll just be a blip.
I had hope when they were canceling projects, right? And I thought, okay, this is the Elon Musk move we're seeing. We're seeing the purge here. But then, I guess they greenlit or talked about some new productions that were just more of the same, and that was really disheartening to see.
Yeah, I mean that's ultimately what you end up with. I don't feel like there's enough momentum at the top to make this change. I don't feel like there's enough willpower to get it done, and I don't think they really have the ability to get rid of all the people they need to in order to fix this problem. I think the best they can hope for is the occasional hit where you get a good filmmaker who actually knows their stuff. To some extent, maybe the third Guardians of the Galaxy movie was an example of that. Mm-hmm. You had James Gunn, who cares obviously a lot about that particular brand. He's a good filmmaker. He knows how to tell a decent story. And you got something that was actually pretty good. Wasn't perfect by any means, but
I liked it better than the second one.
Yeah, but it didn't change the overall trajectory of where Marvel was going. No. And I think this is going to be the same deal. It's going to be a bit of an isolated movie. I must admit, I am kind of enjoying this little spell we're going through where there's no Marvel films coming out. Because you kind of felt obliged to review them. And man, there was a spell where we were just getting bombarded with this stuff, whether it was TV shows, movies.
I can't imagine what that was like, because you have to watch them all, don't you?
I mean, I tried to. Like, it got to the point where there were certain ones I skipped out. Like, I didn't watch Hawkeye. I didn't watch Secret Wars or Secret Invasion. I can't remember what it was called. And it just started to happen more and more. And if
you're getting a break here.
It's nice. It is nice. It's not like that break is filled with great stuff necessarily, but it is a break all the same. I mean, hey, Shogun was good. The Gentleman's been good. There's been decent things happening. It's just not really enough, I suppose.